So I'm out here shed hunting just because there's snow coming. I haven't seen Groot on any of the pictures, but now just looking across the hill over here, I see a carcass. First, we're going to rewind the story back to 2017. I first laid eyes on this buck at the end of the season. 2017, I was in search of a buck that I call Rip Slinger, but then I found out he got shot, so late season rolled around and this buck showed up. Late season, in a ground blind, in the beans, he was definitely on the hit list. I was going to shoot him. Had a buddy in the blind with me. We were going to shoot at him. I couldn't get a shot. He ended up not coming back, and the season was over, and I never got a shot at him. 2018 is where he finally got his name Groot. He had just a mess of antlers coming from his right antler, so hence we named him Groot. Guardians of the Galaxy, tree, Groot. Anyways, yes, I named my deer. Hunting with other people. Tangent. Groot was almost target number 1 that year, and I never really saw him much. I got a couple good trail camera photos of him, but he just, he was one of those deer that when they hit a certain age, they're nocturnal, and he didn't show up, or I was in the wrong place at the wrong time. 2019 rolls around. This buck was a ginormous typical. 9-pointer, 5x4. He was great. I believe it was like November 3rd. I had an opportunity at this buck. It just happened. I think I got a good shot on the big 9. Of course, I forgot the base. To my camera arm. I saw him skirt this. I saw him skirt here. He went out into the field. I hit the rattle. He came right in, walked right down in front of me right there. I shot him over there. I think I got a good hit on him. Oh, we'll see. I heard a big crash. I'll have to check it out. I'm gonna get down here shortly, check my arrow. But I think I just put a dead meat in a giant 9-pointer. I had an encounter with him last night. This could be awesome. Hold tight. It was one of those that you draw up where you see a deer at 100, 150 yards away, hit the horns, and they come in on a string. And that's what he did. I couldn't execute the shot. Didn't get very much penetration, hit the shoulder. So never found him. Found out that he was doing fine. Roll around to 2020. Now this is where it gets interesting. This buck, super old buck, he had a bunch of stuff going on at the base. He was just an awesome deer. Paying attention to him. He was definitely not the biggest buck on the farm, but he was one that I wanted to shoot because he was old, just an old, mature deer that you're playing this ultimate game of chess with. The rut went by, the gun season went by. I was after this buck. So then late season rolled around, and we've got some beans up there, beans and corn, and the cutty backs and the cutty links were showing up on the beans. In my zone, I'm kind of in a CWD zone. They had after the gun season, they had a secondary CWD season that weekend. So, it was no holds barred. I was going for it. I took the shotgun, the trusty old Remington, and I kind of went in on that side where I thought he was bedded, where they were coming out of. And I kind of went around the corner, nothing. Across the ravine, though, I could see where there was a deer bedded, and there was a good buck over there too, probably a 10-pointer. Definitely not this one. The closest I could get was 180 yards. Not comfortable with that shot on a shotgun, obviously. They went around the hill, didn't get anything. So the next day, I thought, I'll be smart. I went to the other side of the hillside, thinking they were gonna be right there. Came around the hillside. I had the wind in my face. It was perfect. The only problem was the snow was a little crunchy. It wasn't all that windy, but I had to give it a go regardless. And I was hoping that I could find where the deer were bedded on the other side of the ravine, on the other side of the hill, because that was a little bigger. So I went there and I found some bedded does, and I sat there for probably 20 minutes, and I kept trying to look to see if there were any bucks with those does, and they were still bedded. They weren't aware of me. I got to move forward a little bit more, so I just kept inching forward. And down below me, kind of right along the ravine, I saw a small yearling doe. So I thought, okay, I might be in something, and I just really moved slow to where I was going. And then all of a sudden, these deer they popped up out of nowhere. Okay, so I'm looking. I had does at 50 yards. They hopped up right in front of me at about 50 yards. And then the buck I was after, Groot, I saw him, he was standing right there. So I'm like, oh, perfect. Didn't have time to turn the GoPro on, anything like that. Of course, you probably don't believe my stories because they don't get footage, but trust me, this did happen. So I put the 6R red dot on it. Yes, product plug. I put the red dot on, and I mean, I was right at it. He was broadside, I would say 125 yards. He was standing there looking. He wasn't quite sure what shook him out of his bed. And maybe I should have waited a little longer to see what he was going to do. But the red dot was on him. I thought it just drilled him in a shot. And the doe scurried away. He spun around and went down towards the ravine. But I never saw him cross the other side of the ravine. Mind you, it's all full of snow. So you can really see what the deer are doing. And I never saw him cross. And I looked and I looked, and maybe it was just the excitement, the adrenaline, you just didn't watch, and maybe he went out the other way. I don't know. I'm like, I had to have hit him. Well, you'll see when I walked up there, I didn't see any blood. I was just so confused. I had the red dot right on him and nothing. So I went over there, and sure enough, there was no blood, nothing. I found his tracks rolling. I crossed the ravine. I thought I was following his tracks. And nothing. I mean, I had plenty of light left, so I don't think it was a low light, lack of looking, none of that. And I thought, well, maybe I just completely missed. Maybe the shot was too far, misjudged it, something happened. So I kind of gave up on it. But this was a deer that was regularly showing up on the cuttybacks, and even at night, and I had him situated just where I could see what he was doing. So a week went by, and I'm like, I don't know, I don't feel good about it. All right, guys, so I'm out here shed hunting, and just because there's snow coming, and I wanted to see if I haven't seen Groot on any of the pictures. But now, just looking across the hill over here, I see a carcass. Son. We're going to try to cross this ravine and see if it's him. It's a buck for sure. Oh, and I looked this the other day too even, and I think I might have just been off. Let's go. There he is. I found a buck that I shot at towards the end of the season, and I am wondering if I can get a possession permit.
You want to send me to this phone number a picture of it?
Yep.
Along with a picture of your driver's license, where you found it, the address or the closest address to it.
Yep.
And your email address, and I'll email you a permit.
Yeah, I don't know if this is from coyotes or. If I hit him there, I don't think I would have seen blood if I would have hit him there. I'm almost sure I looked this whole hillside. He must have been laying. You tell the story of the deer.
Okay. He thought he shot a deer. But he shot a deer. He thought he did, but he did shoot a deer, and then he found it was dead in the woods.
That's right.
So then it is in the shed.
what were you doing when you? How did you find out that I found the deer?
Mom's phone was there, and Daddy sent a picture of it.
And then what did you do? You were doing what?
I ran out.
You were taking a nap, right?
No, I wasn't.
Well, you were supposed to be taking a nap.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Mom's phone was about to die, and then Daddy sent a picture of the deer, and that's how I found it.
And what did you do?
I ran down the hall screaming that Daddy got a deer.
Yep.
And banged it in wall.
And who did you wake up from their nap?
My sister.
What? Hey, no. So that's what else do you have to say about the deer?
His name is Groot, and that is the story of Groot.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Thank you, baby.
What do you have to say?
And then you can do a video.
Are you gonna hunt deer someday?
Yeah.
You are? How about you?
I am, because you're going to take me.
That's right. I can't wait to... Oh, yeah? Okay. Well, you both can. All right. But now you've got to get out. Well, there you have it. They probably sold the story better than I could. Or they're at least more entertaining to watch than I was. So again, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I've got plenty other stories coming out of a couple deer, especially maybe that one, and then a couple deer that I've chased as well, including the story of those sheds over there. Thanks for watching. Be a nice person. I'm out. See ya.